Good morning. It is Tuesday, May 14th. Here's what we're working on. Police are investigating a shooting in central Hamilton.
A major business announcement is expected in Port Colborne this morning.
And Hamilton's Shea Gilgeous-Alexander making huge waves in the NBA playoffs. Good morning, and it's so nice to see the sun is kind of like peeking out there just before 6 this morning.
That's right. 5:56 now.
Hello.
Wow.
Yep, getting there. And we'll even see a bit of that sunshine today, which is nice.
Okay, so here's because it's going to be kind of an on and off week, but then it's getting to the weekend. So I think we'll deal with a subpar week if we get a good weekend, the long weekend, Brian.
We'll keep our fingers.
The long weekend for some. None of us are going camping.
We'll be here.
So, we'll be here on Monday.
We'll be here on Monday, but we still, I don't know. I find this weekend is the unofficial start to summer.
Exactly.
So we're going up north and getting things going up there.
That's right.
And having some fun.
Yep. There are 4 long weekends in the summer season.
Yeah.
You know, May 2-4, and then of course we go through July 1st, August 1st, and Labor Day, and then all of a sudden they go by so fast.
Yeah, I know.
September. So yeah, you got to enjoy this. This is our first long weekend, and
so it's kind of like we're coming up onto the Friday night of the weekend of summer, right?
You got it.
That's right.
Once you get into June, June is the Friday night of the
Good
summer.
way of putting it, yes. And we have a mild start to the morning, and yes, the sun is up. We'll see some of it today. We have a temperature right now sitting at 13, and we're going to climb to 21 today. Now, there'll still be a bit of a humidex for the day. It'll feel like about 25. Yesterday, we got to 25 with a humidex of 27, so it got a little warm, and we did see some sunshine later on. But today, once again, as you can see, it's fairly misty at the moment. Humidity is very high. We'll have a chance of a shower or a thunderstorm later on this afternoon with this instability in the atmosphere. So we'll talk about that coming up. How about we have a quick check on traffic? Nothing to see, 403 Waterdown Road. That's our camera, doing okay right there. Let's check a few MTO, Ministry of Transportation Ontario traffic cameras. That's the Red Hill Creek camera, Toronto bound heading away from us. That's okay so far. It'll get pretty busy pretty quickly there. Top of the Skyway, nothing. Appleby line looks good, so nothing going on right now. No collisions, no volume. We'll look at weather and traffic in a few minutes. Right now, the news.
Okay, thanks very much. Well, Hamilton police are investigating a shooting that happened just before 6 o'clock last night. It happened at Cannon and Kinraid Avenue.
We received several 911 calls of shots fired in the Cannon and Kinraid area. We flooded the neighborhood with officers on discovering that there was 2 males seemed to be on foot, and they were shooting at least one other male in a vehicle. That vehicle fled, and it crashed into an uninvolved motorist traveling eastbound here on Wilson, and it was abandoned by the suspects in that vehicle, and everybody is still outstanding at this time.
And police say no injuries have been reported. There's no details yet on the suspects except that they are believed to be males. Anyone with information is asked to contact Hamilton Police.
So the OPP are asking for the public's help to identify a child whose body was found in the Grand River in Dunnville almost 2 years ago. Investigators, they released a 3-dimensional facial approximation, a 15-minute documentary-style video, and a $50,000 reward in hopes to find out the young girl's name. Her body was found on May 17, 2022 by 2 people fishing on a boat. This is the image the OPP released. They say she's a girl between the ages of 10.5 months and 3 years old when she died. Based on the investigative genetic genealogy, the child's heritage is half Chinese or neighboring countries along the southern border, and she's also of North African heritage as well. CHCH News was on the scene in 2022 when the body was found, with the picture and the police-produced documentary-style video called The Grand River Baby. Unsolved, the OPP are hoping to get new information that helps this investigation. Their media coordinator spoke to us about the challenges of this case and how they created the image.
The biggest challenge is that we simply don't know who she is. And that's part of why this initiative was kicked off today in an effort trying to stimulate those memories. The other challenge is that there is no report of a missing individual of that description on either side of the border. What the reconstructionist did was to take a CT or computed tomography of the victim's skull, and then create a 3D printed version of that skull, to which he then added flesh and features to.
So there's no word on any suspects. Police are asking any information, if you have it, to reach out to the OPP.
Niagara police are looking for witnesses after a disturbance in St. Catharines last week. They say a woman was heard in distress near Elizabeth and Henry Streets. This was just before 10:30 last Thursday night. A dark car with tinted windows may have been involved, but police have not indicated how. No one involved in the incident has come forward, and police are asking anyone to contact them who was in the area or who has video of that area between 10:20 and 11:20 at night on May 9th.
So a man has died after being found on the side of the road. He was airlifted to hospital Friday morning after being discovered on 4th Line Road. This is near Mohawk Road, not far from the Grand River. The man in his 40s died on Saturday. At this point, his name has not been released. Forensic investigators and the Office of the Chief Coroner of Ontario are helping Six Nations Police with this case. So this is the second death they've investigated on the Six Nations in the Grand River in a month.
And a Six Nations police officer has been charged after an on-duty incident. 30-year-old Michael Johnson's been suspended with pay since the middle of April. He is charged with assault causing bodily harm. Six Nations police contacted the OPP to launch an independent investigation into the officer's conduct.
So it's been just over a week since pro-Palestinian protesters pitched their tents in front of the Burke Science Building at McMaster. The school and the protesters, now they won't say much about what is being discussed in the ongoing talks between the two sides, but protesters do tell us progress is being made. It's been 8 days, and the group says the encampment has doubled in size. We reached out to MAC for an update and only got a statement, which was posted on Friday, saying they had a constructive discussion and look forward to continuing these in the very near future with a view to identifying ways to be able to move forward.
And leaders of a pro-Palestinian encampment at the University of Toronto say they're going to stay put because the university hasn't met their demands.
So the answer is no, they haven't met a single one of our demands. There's an open dialogue about disclosure and divestment, and a flat out no for the cutting all ties. What's important to remember, though, is that this open dialogue about disclosure and divestment, these are the first time that these words have been uttered at the University of Toronto on the question of Palestine in 18 years. So that in itself is important to note, and that's not thanks to the university, that's thanks to the hard work of activists, pro-Palestinian activists over the last 18 years.
Protesters are calling on the U of T to disclose ties with the Israeli government and divest from Israeli companies. That was a fourth-year student who spoke at the news conference, says it's now, quote, all or nothing. There's a big announcement coming today. As first reported by CBC and iPolitics, Honda Canada is set to reveal that it will build a lithium-ion battery separator plant in Port Colborne.
When it comes to Honda, what we're seeing now is our economic plan when it comes to the next generation of cars, when it comes to EVs, is working. Canada is now rated by Bloomberg ahead of China as the country with the best full supply chain in electric batteries.
Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland was asked about the report at an event with the Prime Minister in St. Thomas yesterday. She didn't say much about the details. CHCH News has learned that an announcement will be made today by the Premier and by Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Honda is partnering with Japanese company Aisha Casey to build this plant. Simone Gavros is in Port Colborne this morning. We'll have more for you throughout the morning.
Okay, let's get into the sports line, and we start in the hardcourt in Dallas. As Hamilton's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and his OKC Thunder were hoping to avoid falling behind 3-1 to the Mavs in their playoff series.
Gilgeous-Alexander, 8 to shoot. SGA, spin, jumper, book it.
Darn right, and SGA is one of the best players in the league for a reason. He came through exactly when his Thunder needed him. Going on a run in the fourth quarter, being involved in 18 The Thunder's 22 points. He would finish with 34 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. We got ourselves a series of things are all tied up at 2 games apiece with the 196 win. Now things head back to OKC for the all-important Game 5 tomorrow night.
And now Ryan O'Hearn drives one to deep center, and Varsho's got it.
Blue Jays' Dalton Varsho was a one-man wrecking crew in Baltimore as he brought back a home run in the 4th against Ryan O'Hearn, which helped the first-place Orioles stay only up by a run. Let's go to the 8th. Toronto still down 2-1, and Varsho, well, he would smash his team-leading 7th moonshot of the year, which would force extras. And guess who brought home the winning run in the 10th on a ground-out? That would be Varsho. Jays are shorthanded with an illness going through the locker room, so they needed all of this from Varsho in the 3-2 win.
Yeah, Minnesota picking up those pucks in the middle, and Toronto's so good. They score!
Yeah, on the ice in Minnesota, PWHL Toronto goalie Kristen Campbell allowed Minnesota to score an easy one there on a simple dump-in in the second period to put them up 2-0 as they were trying to stay alive in the best-of-5 playoff series between the two. Denisa Krysova jumped on that loose puck, and Campbell, who had shutouts in back-to-back games to start this series, allowed 2 goals in 7 minutes. There were some concerns for Toronto, too, because their best player and the league's leading scorer, Natalie Spooner, went down awkwardly in the 3rd on this hit right here. She did not return, and a tough time getting to the bench. So Game 4 in the series, that happens on Wednesday.
21 minutes to add to the difficulty. Shea a drive, rebound free, they score!
Things heating up in the NHL playoffs as the Carolina Hurricanes will just not blow away. The Garden last night, the Canes would score 4 times in the 3rd period. They have forced a Game 6 in their series with the Rangers, who had gone out in front 3-0 in the series. Things shift back to Carolina on Thursday night.
Heiskanen, they all isolated through the seam. Johnson shoots and scores!
Oh, that's pretty. The other game last night was dominated by the Dallas Stars as Wyatt Johnston, on the eve of his 21st birthday, would score twice in Colorado in a dominating 5-1 win. Stars now have a stranglehold in the series, up 3-1. The Avs received news an hour before the game that the NHL has suspended Valery Nichushkin at least 6 months and placed him in Stage 3 of the league's player assistant program. Nichushkin was leading the team in playoff goals with 9. And finally, with a number of huge matches this summer, our men's national soccer team has a new head coach. Canada Soccer announced the hiring of Jesse Marsh, a coach who has experience in England, other parts of Europe, along with North America. The 50-year-old most recently coached Leeds United in England, but has also coached in the MLS, in New York and Montreal. 49th ranked Canada has a summer against top talent in the Copa America tournament, playing world number 1 in Argentina and Leo Messi next month, with friendlies against Netherlands and France as tune-ups.
6:13 is the time on this Tuesday morning, 14th of May. Time to get going. Let's check our exclusive camera, 403 and Waterdown Road. No problems with traffic, but look at the haze. Look at the visibility. Humidity has gone up with the temperature falling a little bit. So as you can see, it's moving okay right there. Check what's going on in St. Catharines. If anything, QEW in 7th, doing fine through there. Red Hill Creek camera, check this again because this gets really busy early in the morning, but still moving pretty good so far. 403 Junction at Brant looks good. Ford Plant, nothing. Same with the Tobico Creek, almost to the 427 there. Temperature this morning, we've just fallen a couple of degrees. Well, that usually happens around sunrise. It's now 11 degrees. The winds are calm. The relative humidity now, with that temperature going down, the humidity's gone up. So the humidity now 100%. But we do have a partly cloudy sky to start the day, and we will see some sunshine this morning, but then this afternoon there is that chance of a shower or a thunderstorm, but a 60% chance. But 21 today, feeling like 25 when you factor in the humidity. Frontal boundary sitting right across us. It's going to move its way through, and that's going to change up the air mass just a little bit. We're going to see a little bit cooler temperature for the day tomorrow, and then we're going to see some sunshine. Yay, some sunshine. I know we had some yesterday afternoon, but that wind was really strong yesterday too. So today, temperatures anywhere from 22 to 21. Well, a little bit cooler for Burlington into Guelph, 19, but some sun and then that instability later on. Tonight we'll still get some showers, particularly in the evening. Cloudy skies, temperatures anywhere from 11 to 12 degrees, 10 for Mississauga and Milton. And then tomorrow we'll see a bit of sunshine. Temperatures cooler with that cold front going through, 17 to 18, well, 22 for Cayuga and Simcoe, but a little bit cooler temperature and still that chance of a shower for the day tomorrow. So out the door this morning, 14th morning of May, it is partly cloudy. It's mild, temperature right now 11, and long range with some good news coming up in a few minutes. Annette, Tim.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, let's find out what Emily has coming up in Chit Chat.
Well, I can tell you it's humid. It feels humid in the studio, that's
does.
for sure. Like I feel like my hair is just getting like bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay, coming up in Chit Chat, George Clooney, he is making his Broadway debut. We're looking forward to that. Ellen DeGeneres is back for her very last, so she says, Netflix special. She wants to address the controversy on what ended her show.
Interesting.
And we've got some really cute pet pictures.
Okay.
That will get our bunny ears up.
It's like borderline feel-good time, borderline chit-chat. So we're sharing on this.
Okay.
one.
All right.
Hey, we're one big happy family,
Yes.
right? We can share.
And we love pets.
Yes. Good stuff. So we'll see you at the couch in a little bit. Coming up after the break, though.
Weather issues wreaking havoc on U.S. agriculture. We'll tell you how they're getting ready. $6.18 on your Tuesday morning. Canadian dollar is down 3 basis points to 73.14 cents U.S. Gold is up a little more than $10. Crude oil fell 8 cents to $79.04 a barrel. Checking midday trading in Europe, markets are up in London, but they're down in Frankfurt and Paris, just a little bit.
Off to Asia we go. We got some gains in Tokyo, but some losses in Hong Kong and Shanghai. What about North American markets? They opened the trading week yesterday with some losses on Bay Street and Wall Street, some slight gains for tech industry and NASDAQ. Let's see how they do when the markets open on this Tuesday, May the 14th.
The U.S. Gulf Coast is facing flooding hazards, and it looks like the spring showers are so intense they could affect the country's food supply. Today, a deadly storm system is pushing through the Gulf Coast area. Some places that have been dry now have lingering weather problems. About an hour east of Nashville, farmers say their crops are suffering. One issue is fruit with flood damage. Another is wheat fields that the strong winds have flattened. Farmers say the damage could affect U.S. food availability. In Iowa, the Farmers Union says it welcomes rain after years of drought, but these storms have put production behind schedule.
OpenAI says ChatGPT is getting smarter. The company yesterday announced an update to its artificial intelligence called GPT 4.0. The new version is available to anyone, even unpaid customers. So OpenAI says it can carry on conversations with users on uploaded photos, documents, or charts. The new ChatGPT also has a memory, so it can learn from previous conversations. It also now has real-time translation built in. OpenAI's tech chief says this represents a big step in the language model's ease of use.
GM subsidiary Cruise is going to start taking its self-driving vehicles out on roads again this week. The company halted testing last fall after a pedestrian was hit and dragged to the side of a street in San Francisco. To help prevent similar incidents, Cruise's vehicles will now have a safety driver at the wheel of the modified Chevy Bolt EVs. The vehicles will do most of the driving, but with a human ready to take control if needed. Cruise says it's also updated its software to better respond to incidents. Phoenix, Arizona is going to be the first city that they're testing again.
The iconic Porsche 911 is going hybrid. Its gas engine will be assisted by at least one battery-powered electric motor. Porsche is set to officially unveil the 911 hybrid in an online event on May 28th. The company already sells plug-in hybrid vehicles, but this is another matter entirely because the 911 defines the Porsche brand as one of the most recognizable sports cars in the world. Test drive data indicated the hybrid will be faster than the currently purely gas-powered 911. But this has enthusiasts like somebody we know in this room. I'm quite interested on what our friend over there thinks about this. We have a little chuckle.
We will find out with that friend, Brian, in just a few minutes. He'll be back with traffic and your 7-day forecast as well.
Oh, good morning. It is Tuesday, and we're looking at some sunshine here to start the day. That looks nice. QEW east of Lake and St. Catharines, and there's no volume through here, moving quite nicely. Oh, boy. But then you get to the top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge, and it's already getting slow. Heading Toronto bound, obviously. Heading down toward North Shore Boulevard is building up. Getting a little bit busy here at Appleby. No problems at Lorne Park. The 403-407 split just coming up from the Ford plant through Mississauga. Nothing going on. So no collisions at the moment, but there is building volume already. Temperature right now, Hamilton sitting at 11 degrees. We were 13 last hour. 12 Grimsby, Toronto, 14 for Mississauga. The seasonal temperatures for an overnight low, about 7 degrees. So we are above seasonal, so still a mild start. 19 for the daytime high. We beat that yesterday and we beat it again today. So those are our sun times and records for today. And for school today, we should see some sunshine this morning. We're getting some right now. 17 degrees by the first bell, 21, humidex of 25 for after school. A little bit of sun, but there's that chance of a shower or thunderstorm. Okay, let's talk about some of the good news coming up. Thursday, 21 and sunshine. Then we get into Friday, clouds and showers. Let's get rid of that. Well, we kind of get rid of it because there's still a chance of a shower on Saturday. Otherwise, sunshine, and then look at the sunshine and mild temperatures for Sunday and Victoria Day Monday. That's your forecast. And at 10.
All right, thanks, Brian. This is pretty cool because 2 skydivers have become the first to fly through London's Tower Bridge.
That was a little close. The feat took about 45 seconds, but getting to that point was nearly 2 years in the making. So this is a free fall skydiving duo from Austria. They trained for the dive for a year. That included flying between 2 cranes that were set up to match the dimensions of the Tower Bridge. They also had to make sure all the conditions were safe, including that they had the right flying suits, making sure the weather was good, and having boats on standby for the landing in the chilly Thames River.
You know, it looked like they had kind of like engines attached to them, but they're able to contort themselves with those kind of squirrel outfits, however you want. Like, look how fast they're going.
This reminds me, remember the opening of the London Olympics where
the Queen jumped out of
Daniel Craig jumped out.
No, the Queen didn't. Did the Queen jump?
Yeah. No. Yes, the Queen jumped.
The Queen jumped.
Yes,
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. We got lots more to come right after the break.
That's kind of looked like when you guys were skydiving. Wasn't it? It was exactly like that, wasn't it?